Yes guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to a brand new video. This is the latest Arsenal news and transfer news as well. Arsenal have opened up talks to sign a 24-year-old fullback at Fenerbache, Ferdi Kadioglu. He's one of the very exciting talents on Europe and can play as a left back, stroke right back as well. Now Mikel Arteta thinks that fullback is one of the areas where he's very short, and therefore Arsenal will be working to sign a fullback as priority in this January transfer window. We'll be talking about Kieran Tierney, whose future has been set in stone. According to Mikel Arteta, the player is not really able to play 90 minutes for a couple of games, and therefore it means that Mikel cannot rely on him as a player. So Kieran Tierney, come the summer, he's going to be leaving Arsenal. There are injury worries across the boardroom. Mikel doesn't trust him to stay fit for a long period of time, and so does the medical team. Arsenal have also told Tavares, Cedric and Elneny they should be leaving in January. A couple of offers have come in for Elneny. However, Arsenal are waiting for offers from Cedric and Tavares as well. So we're going to be diving into all those stories. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well, and let me know in the comment box below what you think about Kieran Tierney's time at Arsenal. Personally, I like Kieran Tierney. I thought he's a really talented player, a hard worker, one of the players I thought would have become an Arsenal captain. But when Mikel Arteta came in, things actually didn't work out. So do you think we should sell him? Do you think it's time for us to give him a chance, especially with the likes of Alexander Zinchenko and Jakub Kiwior not giving us the top performances? I want your thoughts, I want your opinions right in the comment box below. So let's get into it. First and foremost, according to Peter O'Rourke, Arsenal have opened up talks to sign a 24-year-old fullback at Fenerbahce, and his name is Ferdi Kadioglu. Now, Kadioglu comes from Turkey, and again, he's one of the really exciting talents on the European scene in terms of fullback. He can play as a right back and play as a left back as well. And according to Peter O'Rourke, that is why Arsenal are really interested. That is why Arsenal are really mad about this signing, because Mikel Arteta is looking for both a long-term and an immediate player that can fix the needs we have at the moment. So when you look at our wide areas, Benjamin White is playing with an injury. Zinchenko is injured at the moment. Tomiyasu has gone to Japan. We desperately need someone who is capable to come in there and give us that kind of cover. Ferdi Kadioglu could be the answer. Now, he's 24. He's played for Fenerbahce almost every single minute this campaign, and he's viewed by a couple of other clubs as well. It's not just Arsenal. The likes of Bayern Munich are interested. The likes of Borussia Dortmund are interested. So it's a very interesting story. I'm gonna be unwrapping every single detail about it. But the point for me is why Mikel Arteta prefers to bring in a new player other than Kieran Tierney. Now, I understand the injury concerns at the moment. Tierney just can't stay fit, and that's one of the problems that he has. Hardworking, work ethic is very good, but he can't stay fit. But at the moment, we are looking for a quick fix. We are looking for someone who can actually come in and give us something, some kind of presence until the end of the campaign. I thought Kieran Tierney could do that. I thought, you bring him back. I don't think he's going to pick up, as many injuries while you rotate him with Zinchenko, while you rotate him with Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu will be back in February later on. I thought, I would say Kieran Tierney is a better fix at the moment than signing a new player, especially a player who's never played in the Premier League, a player who doesn't understand Mikel Arteta's system, and a player who literally is young and new to European, to the big European leagues. I think Kieran Tierney would be a much better option. But we've decided to go with Ferdi Kadioglu, and there have been a couple of options. Arsenal have looked at Jorel Hato at Ajax is still an option. We are also still looking at Osman Diamonde. Arsenal will be tracking him during the AFCON. But Ferdi Kadioglu is developing very quickly as a story. So the whole point about it is that Mikel wants someone who can cover right back and left back. And that is what Ferdi Kadioglu is all about. Young, very, very athletic, and then he's also got that ability to join up in attack and help out the team. And maybe this is what Mikel Arteta is looking at. And I said it when we were reacting to the story of Jeremy Frimpong, and I said this could be the point. The point is not about Mikel Arteta getting in just a young, exciting player. He wants someone who can actually add to the numbers. He wants someone who can assist during the games. He wants someone who can score a couple of goals as well during the games. And that's why Jeremy Frimpong is on a radar. And also at the moment, that is why we're looking at, Ferdi Kadioglu. So can score goals, can play on either flank, cannot play as a centre-back. So it means that if Mikel wants cover at centre-back, he's either going to keep Jakub Kivio at the moment, or he's going to sign another player. But I don't see that happen. It's either you sign one player that can play across the defensive line, or you bring in one who is specific, right back stroke left back. Now it's a deal that makes a lot of sense. As we are losing Cedric this January, Arsenal have told Cedric he can go. His surplus requirements, and I agree with that. I don't think he's one of those players that Arsenal have at the moment, and we are really sure he's going to be playing, football. This campaign, I think, he's played one game. One game or one half of football, and that is just simply not good enough. If a player is actually not part of the plans of the manager, then they definitely have to leave. So let me know what you think about signing a new player from Turkey, to come in there and do the job at left back stroke right back. He can cover for Ben White, now since he's injured. He can also play at left back, but at the moment, left back is key and left back is priority. Alexander Zinchenko is injury prone, and Mikel Arteta knows that with every bit of himself, with every bit of his soul. That is why he brought in Julian Timber in the summer, because he knows Zinchenko is good, but he's defensively suspect. And also, apart from that, you can't rely on him as well. You can't rely on Zinchenko to be fit 38 games in a campaign. Maybe the system at Manchester City did suit him better, right? I mean, at times players ask for a lot of game time and they want to play, but maybe the system at City, suited Zinchenko better. You rotate him with Cancelo. He was rotated with Cancelo. He was rotated with Nathan Ake as well, and that means that he was suffering less injuries and he had that bit of longevity. So whenever the manager wanted him and needed him, he was available. At Arsenal, we want him to play every single game. We want him to be present every single minute of the 90. And he just can't do that. So Arsenal have decided to go on and sign a young left back at Fenerbahce. He's Turkish, Ferdi Kadioglu. Right, so that actually leads us to the future of Kieran Tierney as well, because Peter Oruk, reporting on this story, has actually said that Kieran Tierney's future has already been decided at Arsenal. It's over. It's not about debate when he comes back. What's going to happen? Is he going to play again for Arsenal? We might have seen the last days of Kieran Tierney at Arsenal as an Arsenal player. It's over. He will never play for Arsenal again. And listen, I'm one of the people that actually like Kieran Tierney a lot. Like, ever since I've developed the the love for YouTube and content creation, and I've done Arsenal stories every single day, I've always talked positive about Kieran Tierney. And I think Mikel Arteta is missing a huge point with Kieran Tierney, and this is the point. If you have Zinchenko, who is actually injury prone, but then is a very, very special profile of a player, and then you have Kieran Tierney, who is injury prone as well, and he is your everyday ordinary fullback, I think there is something there. We could use them together in the same squad and we would benefit better than actually selling them off. That is in my opinion. I don't think everyone believes that way, but that is in my opinion. So in games like Newcastle, in games against Liverpool, in games against Manchester City, in games against Manchester United, Aston Villa, which fullback do you prefer? Is it Kieran Tierney? Is it Alexander Zinchenko? For me, it's Kieran Tierney. He's the better guy. He's the stronger guy. He's the defensively able player. And that is the player I would prefer to play at left back in such games. Now, in these other scenarios, it's okay for Mikel Arteta to play Alexander Zinchenko in games where we're going to dominate possession, in games where we're going to be on top of the opponent, in games where Arsenal are going to be, everything, right? With dominant, scoring goals, creating chances, and having possession. Right? That's okay to play Alexander Zinchenko. But I still think Arsenal need a profile like Kieran Tierney. Now, thank God we have Julian Timber, because with Julian Timber, he's got that defensive ability. He's got that defensive output of a Kieran Tierney. But you know what Julian Timber doesn't have? Julian Timber doesn't have the ability to run down the line and cross in quality balls, quality deliveries that Kieran Tierney can actually do. And for me, as a smart manager, a manager who wants 2 players per position, a manager who wants competition in the team, Kieran Tierney must stay at Arsenal, and you must give him enough time for him to feel like we have split the minutes between myself and Alexander Zinchenko, right? The FA Cup is there. When you play in the Carabao Cup, all those games are there. It's a massive chance for us to play, Kieran Tierney. I don't agree at any single point with Arsenal going to sell Kieran Tierney, especially now that we're not even going to get much out of him, right? Last summer, I said sell him. That was the best time to sell. But at the moment, I'm not really sure. So Peter O'Rourke, says that Arsenal have no plans of keeping or bringing back Kieran Tierney at the club this month, and instead they're monitoring overseas targets for a new left back as well. Sources say all signals still point to Kieran Tierney exiting Arsenal in the summer, with a belief that Mikel Arteta doesn't really feel he can rely on the player to stay fit long time. So, if Mikel cannot rely on Kieran Tierney to stay fit long term, then Alexander Zinchenko as well shares the same problem. And I like Zinchenko, but he shares the same problem. And I think Mikel has got to learn to rotate players. If Alexander Zinchenko doesn't play 38, but he can play 20, play him in 20 games, and the rest of the 18 games, it should be Kieran Tierney, right? So if you have two quality left backs, 2 of the best quality left backs in the league, and all you have to do is rotate them and swap them out, I think we should be doing that. Absolutely, I think we should be doing that. But it looks like he's going to be going to another club. I'll keep on following him. I like him. He's very, very committed as a player, and he's got a very, very good work ethic. So I love Kieran Tierney, but the manager says that he's not going to be part of his plans. Okay, so another set of 3 players have been told they should be leaving Arsenal this January because the manager doesn't have them in his plans anymore. Number 1 is Tavares Nuno. Now, we brought in Nuno Tavares from Benfica, I think it was 2 years ago, and it was during that time that I thought Arsenal had actually started building something for the future, because with Nuno Tavares, we brought him in at around 10 million euros. If we had actually groomed him well, we would be getting around 30-35 million by now. He's a talented geezer, like really, really talented. I don't like him because he makes a lot of mistakes on the ball, and he's a player that really is very, very raw. But during that time at Olympique Marseille, when we sent him at Olympique Marseille, he did very well, right? He had a very good campaign. That is when Arsenal was supposed to sell. But it doesn't look like, and it doesn't seem like, we are very good at our selling. And now deciding to sell him in January, deciding to offload him in January, that doesn't make any sense. You're not going to get a lot of money in him. You'd rather look for a loan deal, a place where he's going to play, a place where he's going to be treated as priority, because if he plays, Arsenal benefit. We are the guys that are going to be benefiting from that deal. So Nuno Tavares has been told to leave. He's been on loan at Nottingham Forest. He's not played a lot of football there. I don't know, but I'm having vibes of the Turkish league. I'm also having vibes of the French League 1, right? I won't be surprised if he goes back to the French League 1. I won't be surprised if he goes to the Turkish league. He's a player where Arsenal can get around 8 million plus a few add-ons on top, a package of around 12 million euros. That won't be bad, right? That won't be bad. But another player I'm desperate to see out of Arsenal is Cedric Soares. Now, Arsenal have told Cedric Soares that this January transfer window, you should be looking for a club and you should be looking to move on from the club. I just think, again, this was another mistake for Mikel Arteta and Edu to keep Cedric Soares for this long. He's one of those players where you're not going to get a lot of money. Since during the summer, we should have sold him. Last summer, he's one of the players you either terminate his deal. I mean, in terms of FFP, that would have put us in a very bad situation. So you find a way of selling him. You find a way of making at least 5 or 6 million euros, right? The Saudi Arabian market was very open. Arsenal didn't utilize that. These are the players that should be playing in Saudi Arabia. These are the players we should have sold to Saudi Arabia in the summer. But Cedric, I'm happy that Arsenal finally come to the realization he's not adding anything to the team. If Kieran Tierney is out of this place, if Kieran Tierney is for sale, I don't know. Cedric is for is a free giveaway. It should be a free giveaway because we know Kieran Tierney is the much better player. Mohamed Elneny as well. He has been told you can leave Arsenal this January window. The plan is to offload Jorginho, offload Elneny to find someone better, to find someone who can actually give us more value in that place. And I think with more Elneny, should have left Arsenal a long time ago. I really put him in the same bracket as Kolasinac, Papastopoulos, Aubameyang, Lacazette. It is that same era, isn't it? It's that Arsene Wenger, bad signings era, where we literally brought in players that no one else on the market, apart from Aubameyang and Lacazette maybe, no one else on the market was willing to pay for them. Kolasinac, no one else. Papastopoulos, no one else. David Luiz, no one else. And it turned out to be a disaster. So Elneny, him leaving Arsenal, I think that's a good story. That's a very, very good story. We can get rid of him and create space for some more players incoming in the squad. So let me know what you think about the left back situation. Am I right about Kieran Tierney? If I'm not right, why am I not right? Because I am right. See you right in the next one.